So we're looking forward to that. But it's a week to go, of course, as well, to the new Premier League season. And between now and then, we're going to speak to fans of every club in alphabetical order. So it's the turn of Crystal Palace today. Who's after Palace? Well, Robert Sutherland is the online editor of the Crystal Palace fanzine 5-year plan. Hello, Robert.
Good morning.
Who do you think's after you? Very good. Who do you think's after you alphabetically? Come on.
Is it some Chelsea? No, that would be
No. We're not working backwards, mate.
No.
Don't worry. Everton, he got there. Well done. And Sarah is with us. Sarah Halpin, who's an Everton podcaster. Hello, Sarah.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning. Very, very well. Who's after you, do you think? I don't know, actually, so don't answer that question. It's easy when you know the answer, you see, Robert.
I think it might be our rivals, actually.
Yeah, actually, that's possibly true, isn't it? Yeah. We'll have a little look, because I'll be speaking to someone tomorrow morning, so I better find out. Right, let's... Robert, first of all, Crystal Palace, interesting this, isn't it? Because Wan-Bissaka went, I guess you would have thought that's good business, right? I mean, that's a whole load of money, but you presumably would have been expecting a few more signings off the back of it, would you?
Yeah, I think so. It was a really good fee for an excellent player. I think Aaron is going to do wonders at Manchester United, and the amount of money we got is significant. But as you say, we don't seem to have made any inroads in terms of actually strengthening our own squad, to the extent that Roy Hodgson last week said, for the first time, really, has kind of come out and said he's frustrated with that.
Yeah. I guess he can do that because he's only got a year left on his contract, hasn't he? So he'll be less worried about rocking the boat a bit.
Yeah, I think so. But I think he's also... The thing about Roy, from every kind of experience, everything that I've seen of him, he tends to be quite open and honest about things and doesn't mess about with the press and doesn't really use, his media work as a way to influence what's going on in the background. But this was the first time he's really done it. And so... It was a bit of a surprise, and to me that sets alarm bells ringing a little bit.
Yeah, there was a time when it looked like Zaha. It looked like he was going to go, didn't it, for one point? And it looked like he might go to Everton at one point. You bid for him, didn't you, Sarah?
Yes, we did, I believe, and it's always exciting to be linked with players such as Zaha. Whether or not that'll go ahead, it doesn't look too likely, no. But I'm very, very excited and impressed with the transfer business that the Toffees have done so far.
Well, I'll get to that in a second, but just staying on Zaha, Robert, because he stayed in the end, and you must be breathing a massive sigh of relief because you don't win, do you, without him? That's a stone cold fact.
It is, and that's partly why I think we need to make more signings, because we seem to lack that kind of impetus a little bit. And Wilfred is a wonderful player. If he's still here at the end of the transfer window, we'll be delighted.
Motivated?
I think, to be honest, his motivation is always going to be that to continue playing as well as he does. By all means, he might be annoyed that he hasn't moved, but the only way that he can continue to draw interest from bigger sides than Palace is by playing the way that he does. So there's a case to be made that he put down tools, but I don't think Wilfred is that kind of person. And even if he is, then that's something that he needs to learn from.
Okay, stay there, Robert. Stay there. And Sarah. Okay, so the signings. You got Fabian Delph, didn't you? Which is that's a neat signing.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we got him for quite a good price as well, of about £9 or £10 million. Of course, as well, Andre Gomez, who we signed, we had on loan last season. I think everyone was very impressed with across the Premier League. So to get him for £22 million is a real coup. And of course, we're being linked. It looks as though, depending on a medical, Mossa Keane is on his way to Goodison Park, which is extremely exciting. Or Mossa Ken, I do apologise.
That's the guy from Mainz, isn't it? If that's how you pronounce it.
Keane is the Juventus young striker.
Oh, sorry, yes.
No, but we've just signed. No, you've just brought me and reminded me. Actually, it was just yesterday. And again, I'm not quite entirely sure on how to pronounce his name. I believe it's like Gerbarmin.
You'll know by the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully he's a good replacement for Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Yeah. The final 8 games of last season, you really started playing, didn't you? Because you beat Chelsea, you beat Arsenal, beat Manchester United. In fact, you took more points off any side outside of the top two? You were doing really great guns. I mean, what do you read into that? Is it basically Silva finally getting the team playing the way he wants ultimately?
Yeah, I think so. And what you've seen at Everton is a real kind of mess and concoction of players that have been left over from various managers, even dating back to David Moyes. Then, of course, we had Martinez, Koeman, Sam Allardyce in, and, you know, we have a real mismatch of players and personalities. And I think, you know, Marcel Brands, who's come in as director of football, has made a huge impact. And, of course, Marco Silva as well. It seems that the players they're bringing in have a real sort of, you know, certain personality, and that's winning attitude. And also, you know, the likes of Fabian Delph, who've won titles with Manchester City, we're signing players that have won titles. And, you know, I think that's something that we need to instill in Everton, is a winning mentality, because for so long we've been missing that. And I think when something looks good, we've, you know, nearly got there and just kind of crumbled at the end. And it's about getting these players in, and that personality and that state of mind and that mindset of, you know, just winning games and getting over the hurdle. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but Everton are going definitely in the right direction.
You know, nice shiny new stadium at
it looks
good, doesn't it? Good.
It looks very, very nice indeed. And, you know, I just want to start seeing it getting built and stuff. It's like a kid at Christmas, you know, seeing all the pictures and stuff. It's quite breathtaking.
So look, Robert, where do you think roughly you're gonna? What would be a good season for Palace? Do you think?
I think finishing anywhere between 10th and 14th or 15th is going to be good. It just depends on what happens in the next, you know, by Thursday basically.
Yeah.
Once we'll get a much better picture of what's going to happen there.
And Sarah?
Yeah, I think for Everton, their aim's got to be top 6, get back in Europe, but I would absolutely love, as with all Evertonians, to see us win a trophy, as it's been, you know, 1995 was quite a while ago. I was 3, so I'd quite like to see us win a trophy and remember it this time. So top 6 and a trophy would be perfect.
All right, guys, lovely to speak to you. Thanks so much indeed. Best of luck for the new season. Robert Sutherland, big Palace fan. He does the Palace Fanzine 5-year plan. And we heard from Sarah Halpin as well, who's an Everton podcaster, going to talk about the Championship later.